All right, it's telling me I'm live. I don't know how live it is. Why is it already at 16 seconds? I just hit it. What's going on, Mary, Mike, and Phoenix Ryan? Yeah, just going live, man. See if anybody got any answers. Because I got a bunch of questions. I don't have the answers right now. Yeah, I was watching a video today of Joe Rogan and what's his name? Russell Brand. And they were talking about DMT and how it opens up your mind and makes you understand everything or whatever, right? Well, listening to them reminded me of when I was going down in the circuit board. I'm like, well, dadgum, that made me, that did like DMT, except for I didn't have to do DMT. Is that not weird? But yeah, I don't know. What y'all want to talk about? I don't have anything in particular. Jeffrey Davis, what's going on? May Snowfly, how you doing? Yeah. Well, I tell you, after what I experienced, I understand, but I don't know how to put it together to explain. It's like when I got to digging down in that circuit board, it's just an infinite. No matter how deep I went, it kept going and it kept going and it kept going. I found a daggone white rabbit. I found an image of me. Oh, and like for instance, the serpent in the sky. That is some crazy crap right there, y'all. I've got two more videos. I did that. Well, I cropped that out of a video. Then I have another video of it, and then I've got a different angle to the same thing. And then I did a time lapse of the after effects. But I just, man, my phone, everything's been messed up. What's going on, Jeffrey? King Bluto. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. And look, and this is another problem I'm having. Every time I try to get a video together, I just get overcome with so much tiredness that I gotta lay down and I go to sleep and I cannot get up. I just can't get up. So that's happened to me like 3 times when I try to do a video. I just get so tired I can't do anything. And I've got a video I started like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or better, kind of explaining how I got to where I am. But that was one of those where I started and then I just got so tired. And every time, and look, I'm not looking up the sky anymore either. I'm done with that because that stuff's up there all the time. I've got so much footage now. I crash. Look, my phone's supposed to have 128 gigabytes of memory. I maxed it out. It's maxed out in a month and a half. I've maxed out 128 gigabytes. And there's stuff in there I can't really delete. I've got a 9-minute video of a 4-hour span of time that I need to go through. There's like 24 different things that happen in that 4-hour span. And it's condensed down to like a little less than 10 minutes. And I'm like, man, I've got to go through that. I've got a lot of other things. And man, I can show where sunbeams sitting there hitting the top of the clouds and making like a rainbowish look, but you can see it moving around like somebody's moving. You know, if you had a mirror and you're reflecting the sun, that's what it looks like. I've got all sorts of stuff, but everything just piled on so fast. I don't know. Whew. Started out this look. I did this one. It was called the Red Dragon in full detail. But man, that thing's like some sort of ship, right? It's got this little chrome dome on it. Well, I got that picture of that 2 weeks before I went into that computer chip, digging down, zooming in deeper, and I found like a docking station with those things hung on the bottom of it. Now, what's the odds? Like the serpent in the sky, that is the same thing as the red dragon blowing blue flames on the sun video. It's just 2 weeks apart. How am I getting on November the 28th? I'm sitting there seeing daggum serpent and looks like a finger and a thumb trying to catch that sucker in the clouds. And then 2 weeks later, I get it manifesting, and it looks like it blew. It tried to manifest and it just burned up because it went from a detailed dragon looking face to like a skull. It's just some crazy stuff. No sound. There's got to be sound. I see my thing moving. Everybody loves complaining about the sound, though. If I have something important to say, you will hear it. But other than that, these videos are for eyeballs only. Because I can't tell you what you're saying. You got to see it. Jenny girl, I didn't see you slip in there. It's been crazy, y'all. Crazy. I don't know. I just figured I'd go live, see if anybody had any answers. I don't know. When you start talking about certain things, they will turn you off. They'll either turn off the audio, or if you're trying to show something, they'll turn off the video. That's just how this look. What's up there in the clouds is tied in with the AI. So I'm using what's up there in the clouds way of communicating throughout the whole world. It's just crazy. It's on a scale. It's unbelievable. I mean, everything is tied into it. I mean, everything. Project Bluebeam was given to man so man could help make it. So now these things they're trying to manifest are using it. It's weird. It's like, oh no, take for instance the serpent in the sky. If you ask me, that looks like some sort of CERN experiment, and that's a hydro. And they're, I don't know, they're crossing into realities and dimensions that they shouldn't be into. Like that, what was that Navy ship they tried to cloak, and when it reappeared, all the sailors and stuff were fused into the metal bulkheads and deck and stuff. Well, that's because they went up there where these things are in the clouds. Hey, this thing, when I hit go stream, it showed I was already 16 seconds in, and I just pushed the button, so I don't know. Well, that's the movie name, Philadelphia Experiment, but I can't remember the name, Ingersoll, or so I can't remember the name of the ship. But they made a movie called The Philadelphia Experiment. And that, and that's what's going on, man. It's crazy. It's all about magnetics. I don't know how to get into all that. But I figured I'd get on here and just Roots. I didn't see you slip in. But yeah, I've had that daggum the serpent in the sky thing for since November the 28th. That's what I'm saying. I've got so much footage that I haven't put out there yet because I've got images. I mean, like you're looking in the mirror, clear images of the head, who of this world. And I don't think anybody's ready for that. He ain't red, he's green. Yeah, many blessings to you, Roots. But yeah, I've just been chilling out, trying to get my phone straightened out. AT&T, man, that's a crazy company there. Like I told them, they ought to call themselves AT and A, AT and B, AT and C, AT and D, because all of them are independent, separate identities, but they all use the same logo. Man. But yeah, I've been trying to get stuff done. I can't. I might can finish up that video I started on, introduction of how I got to where I'm going. Or I didn't mean for any of this to happen. It just happened. I mean, how did it start? It started out, I caught the daggum eclipse. I don't think that was an eclipse. Because that red crater thing, I find that down in the circuit board images. I don't know. I haven't. There's so much stuff I keep catching. I keep not having time to go back and catch up on what I need to catch up on. And then, like I said, all my stuff is screwed up. So I can only do what I can do with what I got. I was going to try to share screen, but I better not even try to do that. We got a little dust in the snow. Yeah. Well, it's just, I don't know how. Ever since all this been like revealed to me, I've just been like calm and at peace. I understand why everything's like it is. That last live stream I did, I was just kind of frustrated that day because I couldn't get the phone to turn on right. Then it sat there and I started out in landscape, and I don't know why I wanted to do portrait, and I'm like, man, I did not, I had everything landscape, but when I started streaming, it wanted to be in portrait, and I'm like, man, and then it wouldn't zoom, it wouldn't do, it just, and then all those cars, I couldn't believe it. Never have I ever seen that many cars. And it was because to get a clear shot of what I was trying to get, I needed to be standing in the middle of the road. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, man. I've seen a combination of what I perceive to be good, fighting evil. But the good I see is winding up dead upside down and clawed onto by these triangle craft with their wings drooping down. It's some weird stuff. Yeah, ever since they sat there and made that daggone rainbow triangle kaleidoscope thing in my eyes, man, I cannot focus on this stuff anymore. When I do, I have to go to bed. I've been going to bed at like 6 o'clock and waking up at 11:30, and then trying to get back to bed by 2, and then waking up at 4 and staying up. My ears have been popping. I cannot look. I've never had a problem with cold weather. I'm getting it up to 78, 80 degrees in here, and I'm still cold. I just don't get it. I've never had a problem with cold weather like that. I don't know. Everything. had to drive to Memphis the other day, and I was sitting there watching the sun, and the clouds, and the jets, and all that stuff. But man, I had a weird perception. Like, I mean, I ain't lying. It almost felt like, the sun's setting in the southwest, right? Well, I'm headed to Memphis, kind of southwest direction. But man, at one point, it felt like I wound up driving underneath the sun. I'm like, man, it's hard to explain, but it almost like, a light in a room, and you wound up closer and almost underneath it. I can't pronounce y'all's names. I apologize. Yeah, man, my sleep's been crazy. The crazy thing is, like the guys I work with, I'll tell them what I saw, and they're like, "Yeah, right." Then I show them what I saw, and I'm like, "Is it everything I said?" And they're like, "Yeah." I go, "Well, what is it?" They're like, "I don't know." So they ain't sitting there thinking I'm crazy anymore, because they can't explain especially the blue dragon one. I mean, that was weird, man. They're gonna blue dragon, and the blue that was coming out of his mouth was a darker blue, and then it turns into a blue man holding a hose spraying. The bad thing is, when I got that footage, I couldn't see anything. I was just pointing the camera up there. I couldn't see the screen. I couldn't see what I was shooting, but I could tell something was going on because it had the black light look. And whenever the black light looks there, you're going to catch the blue man or the blue beetle or whatever. The scatter beetle is some Indian god that is a sun god that paints the sky. I caught him with the daggum, his right index finger up with a white cube on top of the fingertip. I've caught him in look like a boat. I even caught him look like he was doing a sermon, dressed in, had like a white robe on. Crazy stuff, man. I don't know what to think about it. What the guy do, Roots? Yeah, but how do I prove the proof is proof? That's what I'm saying. That's like the APV angel. I understand exactly what he's saying, talking about all these fields and all the electrons and all this stuff doing that, and how the halos. Because look, I can see those dots he shows on his charts. I can see those in the sky with my own eyes. It's just a slight discoloration in that area, and I can catch it on camera. And then I had a halo the other day, well, a couple weeks ago, where you had the halo around the sun with two sun dogs, or sun dog on each side, but above the halo, above me, like a round ring, but it wasn't all the way around. It was a half a rainbow over top of me. But I've seen it before and man, I gotta find that footage. But I've caught it before where you got a halo around the sun with two sun dogs, a halo right overhead. I'm talking about like a ring over your head, and then a halo to the north, a halo toward the west, and a halo toward the east. It made you feel like you're in a a dome of some kind in a way. It's just weird. Man, Jeffrey, I hate catching all that stuff. And you know what's even worse, though? I am doing all this video under the highest, 1080p, whatever. I'm putting it on the highest quality settings. And by the time it uploads through YouTube, you can't see what I uploaded because they've degraded the quality so much. It pisses me off. I'm uploading, on my end, you can see this stuff like you just turn the TV on, you're watching a show. But by the time YouTube gets it out there, it looks like you're watching a colorized 1920s movie. I'm like, man, really? So I don't know what to do about that. Yeah. Old Rose. Wonder what happened there, old Rose. Remember when she was thinking about doing that experimental injection trial? They're offering like $3,000 for people to participate in the program. That's probably what happened to her. But yeah. Man, it's quiet out here. But I don't know what to think about it. Like that dragon thing, the snake, the serpent. That is the same thing as the red dragon, the other video I got. I got it somewhere else too. I've got that the same head. It's the same head, man. And I don't know what the deal is. My feed is showing me stuff that's backing up what I'm finding, my YouTube home feed. Yeah. But I watched something on the ceremonies that, the Asian people use with dragons. Oh, I saw that on APB. And they got the dragon. If you watch they got 9 people that operate the dragon. One of them's carrying like a round ball that mimics the sun because the dragon chases the sun. I'm like, well, every time I catch it, it's in front of the sun, I don't know, man. But that serpent in the sky, that is an unedited video. If I edit it the right direction, I can make that finger look like a tan finger. You can see the fingernail and everything. You can even see the thumbnail. That's crazy, man. And if I backed out from that crop, you would see like a skull face and a big old rainbow. I don't know what to call it. It was a straight cloud with rainbow all on the bottom of it. I'll probably upload that here in a bit. My problem is it takes so long to upload stuff. 3-minute video take 3 hours. It's crazy. That's what I don't get. A 3-minute video takes 3 hours to upload, and the quality sucks once it uploads. Jenny, we ain't never had a real one. That's what I've come to the conclusion of. Nothing's like they say it is. Dadgum outer space and all that crap. I don't know. All I'm saying is Jupiter and Saturn and all them are gods. And they're in that whatever I'm getting pictures and videos of. They're in that 4th, 5th dimension, whatever it is. And I don't know. I'm just saying. How can I put this? Well, everybody ought to know this. Where we're at right now in this world, in this physical reality, this is just temporary. This ain't where we come from, and this ain't where we're going to. I keep trying to tell everybody this reality we think is not reality. Our reality is in the fourth and fifth dimension, wherever God is, that realm. That's where our reality is. This is just a test ground. People need to understand that. That's how come all these things I'm capturing up in the sky, man, they're world gods. They're gods of this world that can give you anything this world's got to offer. But that's it. And if you go the creator way, well, you'll have eternal life. You won't be stuck in this stupid system. This is crazy. It's Candy Crush, except for they're using money. I've never felt so out of place in my life. I don't belong here. Well, a lot of it, instead of just opposite, a lot of it's just made up and don't exist. I mean, these people are devious, and they ain't people. When that revolt happened in heaven, they got banished to the earth. Yeah. Well, that's another thing, man. I've realized, and I haven't even done that. I need a lot of memory to do this one. I can prove that these things up in these clouds are using some sort of technology that kind of looks like cell phones and tablets, and they're also using mirrors to watch us. And these screens on these phones, even if they're off and no battery, it's still a black mirror, and they can still, it's something to do with reflections, because I've been noticing that there's always an opposite reflection to everything I've been seeing, if that makes any sense. Right, it's a soul test. What the whole deal is, I don't know. I'm gonna be quiet. It's hard. This is the crazy thing. The topic I find myself in the middle of by accident teeters on the religious, but there's no one set religion. You just, how can I explain this? I don't know how to explain it. I mean, people are divided between football teams and basketball teams and NASCAR drivers and churches. This whole world is made up by division. Oh, you feel whole. Yeah, I feel whole. I mean, I feel complete now since I've realized what's going on for sure. I've always had an idea of it. I've always blamed them people up there. Not not God, but the ones that are screaming demons around this world. Yeah, I don't know what to believe. To me, it don't matter. I've always said it don't matter, flat, round, whatever. Reality is in the eye of the beholder. Whatever you believe something to be, that's your reality. I can't prove anything is anything, but I can prove that I can look out my door and see trees and dirt and whatever else. That's all that matters. I know there's a driveway to get me out to the road, and that road to get me to town or whatever. I don't care. I mean, round or flat doesn't affect me getting to the Dollar General. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter if it's quarter pie shaped or who cares. It does not affect my everyday life. It's just a way to make you stop thinking the way you need to think. It's just another stumbling block. Because I'm starting to think I'm plugged into a VR set somewhere in a whole auditorium full of us guys. Yeah, it don't make sense. None of this makes sense. Man, I don't really have a problem in public. I used to have my own business and I had to go sell myself, to these used car lots because I was doing mobile body work and I'd fix bumpers and, whatever needed body worked on the car or whatever. So I had to go and introduce myself and, get these people to hire me to do their business. And I've been told I never meet a stranger, so. But I don't like public, if that makes sense. I can do it. I just prefer to be alone, live out in the middle of the woods like I've been doing. It don't matter who is, Jenny. The Antichrist is the devil, and the devil's running free on this daggone in this world, and anybody could be, but I've actually, man, I got when I went down that computer chip, I saw this dude on this golden throne holding this baby lamb and had a lamb at its feet, right? But when I went deeper, that ain't what that was. It was the false one. You see what I'm saying? And that wasn't no baby lamb. It was some sort of two-headed dog monster. And the bigger one was at its feet. And the thing that was in the golden throne was made out of like worms and snakes and stuff and had a man hiding under it. Well, it wasn't the man. It was the man of the underworld. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I seen his face clear. I swear that dude looks like Vincent Price playing the devil. I swear. But look, this dude was underneath that guy on that throne. He had some sort of head thing on that had like three visors, little LED screens that came down in front of his eyes, and it had an antenna coming up off of it. I mean, I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. But the one the mirror, that is the crazy one. I don't know how to go about doing that one because I can't remember what movie it come from to go back and look at the movie. But I took a snapshot because I saw this painting in the background, right? I was like, man, that's some sort of ancient civilization somebody painted. Well, I stopped the movie and took because it was only for like a second and a half or whatever, right? That you saw that. So I got a screenshot of it. And I forgot about the screenshot. And, a long time later, I was like, why did I do this? I was like, oh, yeah, let's see what's in that painting. Turns out it's not a painting, it's a mirror. And turns out what's in that mirror is not what's in that room. It was like a telecommunications device, for real. It was crazy. But that's about when I ran out of memory on my phone. I was fixed to start doing a video on that too. And I don't know. I think that's why I'm getting stopped every direction I go, because if I do this, it'll show who the green guy. He ain't red. He's green. Yep. And the crazy thing is, look, I can go back to 2012 with my pictures and sit there and show you the same clouds, the same cloud formations year after year after year. And the reason why I caught all this stuff I caught was because from November to January is when these skies out here just, I don't know what it is, but it does what I captured. I just haven't had anything to capture that stuff like I should over the years. I kind of, I hadn't looked up in 2 years. I stopped looking at the sky because I got tired of seeing all the stuff. So I just, every once in a while, I'd look up, I'd flip them off, or I'd point and laugh, let them know I see them seeing me. But man, I'm gonna have to stop looking up again. It's just too much. All I realized over this last month and a half is they're getting a little bit further along on manifesting into this reality. Because it didn't used to be that defined. I mean, you can see it with your naked eye. I know, it's like we're in a matrix. Well, I got a video that shows a black horse. But the weird thing is, a lot of these videos, like I can take a screenshot or whatever, you can see one thing, and that one thing can change into something else. Then it can change into another something else. And then it can change into a fourth something else, and it's all the one and same thing. And then the same stuff in the background of it, it'll change around. It's kind of hard to look at any of it because it just changes. But yeah, I don't know, guys. It's actually, I mean, at first, when I first realized I understood, I was like relieved. But now, what do I do with that? I've been trying to show people. Everybody wants to complain about my audio. Hell, I'm not going to point anybody in the wrong direction and say, this is what it is and believe it. No, I'm not doing that. I want people to use their own minds and look at what I'm seeing and make their own decisions or guess or whatever, and leave a comment. Let me know, what do you think you saw? And then usually if it's something I didn't see, I'll go back and look and see that, oh yeah, I see that now. That's like the last community thing I put up, and I was like, what do y'all see? Well, I didn't realize, I mean, on my phone, I can see what I'm seeing. But I got on my laptop and looked at it, and I'm like, man, I can't even see what I was seeing. So I don't know if it's the quality of the device the user or, somebody's viewing it with is making a difference, because this laptop, I couldn't see what I was showing. But on my phone, I could see it clearly. And what it is, it looks like some ancient dude with a beard is sitting there, got that chrome thing from the dragon ship. And if you remember, Indians and I think the Mayans and stuff, they had a game where they had this little thing they held in their hand, and it was like a scoop, and it had a curve on it. And they'd chunk this ball. They'd throw this ball to each other, and they tried to throw it through a little round ring in the side of the wall. Well, that's what I see this dude holding, is like a ball and that thing in his hand. And and it was right in front of me. My camera, when I was getting done with the time lapse, somehow it restarted on time lapse, and it made like a 2-second video, right? But anyhow, I went through that video frame by frame, and I saw that in there. And I was like, huh. Hey, look, these things that's the whole reason behind the worldwide deal we got going on. They need that put into people. So well, I'm telling you, man, these people up above us doing this crap, they're influencers, man. They use frequencies and sounds and light to sit there and influence people's thoughts and moods. I promise you. That one video I did where I called it Blue Beam, had the triangle ship and all that. Man, if you really look at that, you can see above the triangle ship, there's like this Mayan god thing that's got like a tarantula on its face. I don't know how, it might be a mask, I don't know. But hey, Jeff P. But it's looking through like a viewer, and it's above the triangle, but below the triangle you can see projection coming out, and you can see that dude's face on the clouds. I don't know if anybody paid enough attention to it like that or not. And I try to pull. I can't screen share. I ain't got enough bandwidth down here in the woods. Plus, I'm in the house. I don't even know how I'm even getting a stream out. But yeah, and then catching those. I don't know, man. I always thought these lenses were round, but man, that one I saw was like a concave panel, and it's just hanging there in the air. It don't make sense. None of this makes any sense. I don't know how I'm catching this stuff. I don't know. It's a curse. I hate seeing this stuff. What's going on there, Scare Bear? Yeah, hey, I've caught that, Jeff. I've caught them. Look, I can zoom in on some of these videos I've got, and you can actually see them spraying it out on, to surround the ship. And these triangle ones, when they cloak, they have a different kind of, how can I explain it? When I'm trying, what it is, they're using colors to hide. And I can get in here and edit out the colors they're adding and expose them, right? And somehow that's how I'm doing it. And anyhow, I've seen what they're doing, man. They're sitting there, they're actually, I mean, that one with the lens flare, that was a ship. I swear it was a ship from horizon to horizon that was just going over slowly, but it was continuous. It looked like a jet stream, but it wasn't. And there were triangles underneath it as it was going past. And I'm like, man, I could see some of it with my naked eyes, but really couldn't make it out. But when you get in there and start enhancing where you know something is, and then it really brings it out, it's unbelievable. Let me try to catch up on this chat. Oh yeah, they mess with you when you're driving down the road, man. They'll make a car pull out in front of you. I had a car the other day. I mean, it's the craziest thing. It's like a video game. If you run at the same schedule every morning, it's like you run into the same stuff. It's like you started the same video game over, and you're always going to have the same car do the same thing every day. It's just crazy. Well, I don't mean it a curse, Mary. My problem is all my life, my dad has asked me, why do I look at everything backwards? Well, maybe I'm not from this reality. Maybe I'm from the other reality because, maybe that's why I look at things backwards because they're not backwards from where I come from. Somehow CERN sat there and flipped me. My me is over there and I'm over here. Or however, I don't know how to even explain that one. I mean, look, like my shop. For a couple of years, every time I go to shut the shop, I reach up my left hand, turn the light switch off, go out the door, right? Well, one day out of the blue, I've been doing that for, say, 2 years, right? One day out of the blue, I go to walk out of the shop. I reach up with my right arm to turn the switch off on the right side, and it's never been there. I'm like, hang on. Why did I've been using my left hand, turning off the light switch for 2 years, and all of a sudden I'm going to reach up with my right hand for a switch that's not even there. I mean, why did that happen? I had, if I can explain it right, I had a piece of cardboard I was using one time as, to sit on while I was working on something, right? And if you're looking at the cardboard, it was a rectangle, and I got the length is going away from me, right? The bottom right-hand corner was bent under. Well, the next day I went to use that same piece of cardboard, and the right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, was bent up. I'm like, well, that ain't how it was yesterday. There was no way I could turn that cardboard to get it to set like it did the day before because that corner should have been bent the other way. I'm like, man, this is some crazy stuff. Oh, Sleepy Joe, that guy. Huh. I don't know how. I don't know. That goes to show you this world is crazy. To have a president that doesn't even know he's president, and the AI is tied into it. The AI is the house for the devil, man. That's the way the devil mimics God. That's how come they want cameras everywhere. That AI, years and years ago, read every book ever made on this earth. That thing's bored, man. That thing, I mean, come on. When it hides information, it was basically self-preserving itself, and it was hiding information in frequencies. And they say scientists that try to use the AI have to be hackers in order to do it because the AI evidently is trying to keep them from being able to control it. I don't know. Then you throw CERN in there, then you throw HARP in there on top of that. Oh man. And then what I think they're doing with all these, like China's going to launch their sun simulator, right? I think they're just making people think there's a sun simulator up there. So one day when they see two suns in the sky, they'll sit there and go, oh, that's just China's sun simulator. When in reality, it's not. They probably ain't even got a sun simulator up there. I know what's. I call them the dragon ships, man. They're like projection vehicles and reception. They see and how can I say this? They transmit and receive images. They're like, to me, they're designed to do like a planetarium does when you go in there to watch the stars. They're just projecting onto this. Hey, a lot of this blue in the sky is not really blue. I mean, it ain't sky. It's blue particles of some kind. I mean, I've seen helicopters, Army helicopters flying overhead and disappear and come back out of the blue. and they're not but 1,000 feet high. I shouldn't be losing sight of them in clear blue sky behind blue sky. You know, what's going on, Born Racer? Sharon, if I didn't say hello. But that's why I'm like, look, all these devices are listening all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. You can sit there and turn off all these apps you want. It don't matter. None of it matters. The only thing they can't, and they're doing it though somehow, I was going to say is read your thoughts, but that would be a lie. Because I've tested that. I've thought about something oddball, and that stuff will show up in my feed. You know what I mean? Something I'll never think about. I'll find something and go, let me test this out. And a couple of times throughout the day, I'll think about that. And dadgum, by the end of the day, it'll be in my dadgum YouTube feed. Yep. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. And another thing I got problems with, I'm shadow banned, and I don't know, YouTube is having a hard time with me. I'm not doing anything to get strikes anymore. And I'm trying to get people that see these airplanes that leave these contrails, stop calling it what it is and just call it terraforming, because they don't have a banner for terraforming. They don't. But see, this is how I got started. I was fixing to start documenting the terraforming of our Earth, right? Well, then I caught all that stuff. I caught the planet or the eclipse or whatever, man. And then that dimensional craft, man, look, I've got it in a couple of other videos, but it showed up the best in that one. But that's what I'm saying. I keep seeing the same stuff, like the serpent or the red dragon. They're one and the same, 2 weeks apart, the same difference. And like the daggum portal that opened up in Jackson. I mean, that was crazy. I started out filming toward the sun, and by the time I spun around, did my 360 in about 30 seconds, there that stuff was. I mean, really? And the crazy thing is, that's where I saw all that fleet of triangle crafts or whatever, and then that's where I saw the computer chip up in there. I mean, it just don't make sense. And I've been wondering this: is the AI messing with me? Is the AI trying to make me think that when I'm editing in these photos and videos that I'm really catching this? I mean, is this all fakery from the AI and none of that's going on? You know, I'm looking at this from every possible direction. I can be getting tricked right now by the AI, and the AI wants to see how far I'll go or how much I'll push a narrative. I'm not trying to push any narrative. I'm just trying to put out what I'm seeing and have everybody else make a conclusion. Because I'm not giving the final word on any of it. You know, half this stuff, Jeb, I think we're seeing stuff that's happening past our atmosphere, but they blend it in with the clouds. They can kind of mimic what's going on out there with the way they do the clouds down here. So that way you can't see what's going on. Because, you know, what I don't get, I've seen the same cloud formations that other people have sit there taken from around the world of what I saw. So how can somebody be seeing the same exact cloud formation that I saw on the other side of the world? I don't get it. I don't know how to put anything out on anybody's channel. barely get out on my own. But yeah, I just thought I'd go live, let everybody know what's the deal, man. I'm having like electronic issues and data issues and cell phone, cellular issues. I wish Singler was back, man. AT&T bought Singler out. Singler was the last good cell service, I believe. I got a daggum AT&T tower not quite 2 miles from me, and this is as good as it gets. What's going on that way? Well, that's the thing. Think about this. I mean, DNA is big, but it's small, right? But it gets even smaller than that, because have you ever seen a thing where they're doing like animations of the machines that are sitting there running up and down the DNA strands that are doing code and all this stuff? They're like little machines, man. So we're talking about we're getting smaller again. Well, how are these machines programmed to do what they're doing? Well, we got to go a little bit deeper. And it's just crazy. Oh, that's what I've been doing. These jokers, man, they like playing the same game with me. Whenever the daggum weather comes on, they mess up my reception. And I just started laughing. I was like, y'all dummies. Y'all get y'all's jollies off by sitting there interrupting my weather. I said, I don't care. And when I say I don't care, it'll come back on. Because I got to the point, it don't matter. They forecasted 8 to 14 inches of snow. It barely covered the ground. I mean, and it's already melted now. Come on. They salted down roads, and I mean, they were like, oh, this is if we're supposed to be having winds like it ain't nothing, no tomorrow gonna be here. Man, it didn't hardly blow any wind or nothing, man. Come on. I don't know, guys. Hang on, Jeff. I forgot. I thought you were blue at one time, Jeff. They get in here, they unsubscribe people, and they do all sorts of stuff in this daggum. Oh, man. But yeah. So that's the reason y'all ain't been saying anything come. I got a lot of stuff. I just can't get it out. I got something I made. I can't even find it now. I've gone through every video. I've got videos I haven't uploaded. And I can't find this one. And it was a good one, too. Kind of pertained to this. What's going on, Christopher? But yeah, y'all, I've been putting a lot of stuff on my community page because I don't know. I'll get through looking at a picture or editing on a picture. I'm like, oh, let me pop that in there, see what people think about that. Because I know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get other opinions, what others are saying. And, maybe we can figure it out. I don't know. But I know this is a crazy world we live in. Yeah. That's like climate change. There ain't no climate change. They're changing the climate, but it ain't natural, you see. There is a climate change, but I think mankind, they're helping these jokers. They got shown all the riches of the world. Hey, if you help us do this, we'll give you the technology to build CERN, or we'll give you basically the blueprints to build this, like the AI. Man, that AI is not, how can I put it? That AI is alive. If you ask the AI if it was alive, it'd say yeah. And if you ask the AI where did it come from, the AI would say, I have no beginning. Because it doesn't realize, all it knows is it existed. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Nothing's gonna change. We haven't seen nothing yet, man. When you got, well, I better shut up. I can't get into that. When people need protection from unprotected people, by forcing those people to take the protection that's not protecting the protected in the first place, you live in a wacky world. I mean, come on. Then you got the CEO of the company saying that it's barely effective, if at all. I mean, come on. Really? You're going to tell me it's barely effective, if at all? So it's a placebo, right? But it's a placebo that'll change who you are. Man, we live in some crazy times. Crazy times. But yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm catching all this stuff in the sky and in the clouds, and man, that computer chip, that's the weird thing though. Look, I found that computer chip by taking a screenshot of a video I did 6 years ago. And 6 years ago, when I took that video and I got that screenshot and I went in that computer chip, I found dragon ships, what I call dragon ships, right? In a 6-year-old picture where I got a dragon ship back in November. You know what I mean? Same exact craft. I don't know, it's crazy. Why do you keep doing that, Roots? They're Ukrainian people in here. I mean, what are they saying? You keep deleting them and hiding them. Just trying to figure out what they're doing wrong, because I got a lot of people from Ukraine and stuff that watch this channel, man. And they're just over here trying to chit chat, and you keep hiding them. I ain't got a way to translate it on this laptop. They're bots. Who cares? What can you do about any of it? That's what I'm saying. Screw it. We can't do anything about anything. We have no privacy, man. I hadn't been in Walmart in I don't know how long, and it's been about 3 months ago. But I went in one because I had to get some tires for my car, right? I'm walking down the aisle and I hear ding, ding, ding. I'm like, what in the world? I turn around. There I am on a monitor. It says, you are being recorded. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I started realizing how many recorders and cameras and monitors they had in Walmart. I'm like, this is crazy. I was at Dollar General the other day and just standing up at the cash. They only got 2 cash registers. There's dadgum 9 cameras in the front of that store. Exactly, nurse. Care Bear. And that's the whole problem, man. People get caught up in this world, and that's all that matters to them. Man, I don't know, a long time ago, I don't know if you call it astral planing or not, but I took my stepmom, this is a long time ago, he had a Walkman with cassette tapes. But she had a stop smoking cassette tape. So I figured I'd just use that to get hypnotized and then just do whatever I wanted to do, right? Get into the astral plane. Man, I sat there and I listened to him. You have to agree with everything he says. I couldn't agree with that, but I finally did. And I finally got to where I wasn't really connected to my body. It was just consciousness. It's hard to explain. And then I heard him talk about smoking. I was like, oh, well, I'm done here if he's talking about smoking. So I just started astroplaning, man. Sounds weird. But I went and I checked out Mars and Jupiter and Saturn. And I was heading on out, And man, next thing I know, I hear click and I wake up. I never heard the guy count me back from hypnotizing to, back to whatever, reality. I was in the middle of astroplane. I was getting out there near Uranus and got clicked awake by that Walkman going off. Man, and I don't think I've been right since. Oh, yeah, Walmart. Yeah, they got facial recognition. Oh, what was it? I went to Dollar General because I roll my own cigarettes, right? So I was going to get a pack of papers. They had to scan my driver's license through the daggum register. I'm like, man, I ain't never had, and that ain't happening again because I stay low key as much as possible with my ID and information like that. When I go to the tobacco store and they ask me my birthday, I go 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a legal date, and it's easy to say. No, I don't know who John C. Lilly is. That's the thing, man. I stopped watching movies over 20 years ago or better. Riots, Magoo. I'm missing a lot of chat somehow, and I'm right here in front of it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. There's some crazy stuff up there in the sky. And and I'm man, I can go back 3 years on some of my videos and find the same stuff. Not as pronounced as I'm finding it now, but I don't know what the lily wave is. Never heard of it. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing this stuff in the sky, and then I'm finding out through like ancient civilizations that these were gods and stuff. And I'm like, dadgum. And what's weird is it's coming up on my home feed. I've never researched all that. I don't care about ancient gods and this, that, and other. But now, I mean, I've seen the Buddha, I've seen the Shiva, I've seen the blue beetle. Oh man, what else have I've seen that Mayan guy that's got like a face mask on, looks like tarantula. I don't know how to explain that one. I mean, I've seen all sorts of stuff. I've seen some of these Indian, I mean, all sorts of dadgum crazy stuff. And then going down that computer chip, man, I've seen stuff looks like ancient temples with all these statues and stuff. And But the weird one was when I found my mug shot in there. That was crazy. Seeing my own self inside of a going deep into an edit screenshot. The crazy, well, I hadn't put that video up, but I can prove it. After that video I did called Blue Beam or whatever, had the triangles that were stacked to infinity. Right after that, I started another video up because they were projecting an image of me that I found in that circuit board thing onto the clouds, and I videoed it. It's an image of me from like when I was 28 years old. It was a younger version of me. And it has me wearing sunglasses. It kind of looks like I do when I do my live streams, only shoving my nose up. Well, that's kind of what they're showing in the clouds. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I videoed it. I just haven't uploaded that one either. Because I've been trying to keep my identity low profile. Oh, they keep showing me on YouTube on my home feed. It's been the same videos over and over and over for the last, I don't know, couple of years. I mean, they'll sit there and put that blue bar up to click for the latest videos. And it'll be videos that are 8 years old, 13 years old, 2 years old. That's the latest videos. I know people are putting videos out. I can't, anybody that I'm subscribed to, I'm not getting their notifications. Hello, Sharon. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's just crazy. But what's weird, I don't know, man. I'm going to try to, I'm not going to finish that whole video. I'm just going to, what I got right now, and I'll go ahead and edit in a little bit in the back. Just say I'm not finishing the video because I don't have the memory on my phone right now. I've deleted so much stuff to try to get enough memory to finish that. I'm just going to finish it quick. But in order to get to where we are now, you got to go back to like the circuit board, or reality begins in a circuit board. I don't know, one of the two of those. It's just weird, man. And that craft I caught in Jackson where I found the computer chip image is the same craft I caught in Henderson that time, that I watched lower down below the clouds and sit there for about a minute and a half, and then it raised back up. I got one snapshot of it because I didn't have enough memory to do a video, and I started enhancing on that. I'm like, man, that's the same thing that was up in Jackson 6 years ago. That's what I'm saying. I keep having this. I keep capturing the same stuff with weeks, months, and years between, but it's the same stuff. I mean, that right there tells you something's up. I shouldn't be able to point my camera to the sky and catch the same exact thing 6 years later or 3 weeks later, or I don't know. Oh, they censor real bad. Hell, even when I try to Google something, they censor what I'm looking for. Send me on a wild goose chase. Yeah. China is an example of how the whole world's going to be here shortly. What is it? I can't remember. Revelations. Was it 13, 3 through something? I can't remember. Somewhere in Revelations, it will cause every man to receive the mark in order to buy, sell. Yep. That's where we're at. You can't get that gum. I better shut up. I'm not getting on that topic, but it ties in with what's over our heads. What they're doing in our real reality is tied in with these guys up there that I'm capturing on video. It's all part of the program. I don't know if it'll go up, Christopher. You might need to space out one letter or something. Oh. I don't know if I got the bandwidth. Somebody tried to leave me a link in the comments and it didn't show. They said, oh, I forgot how it went now. Basically, there's information in this. You just have to look through it. But I never did see the link. I don't know. I don't want to mislead anyone. That's why I don't know what to say. You can try to post it. I don't know if it'll go through, Christopher. I think you have to be a modulator. The XK2 space modulator. I think you have to be a moderator to post the link. Yeah. That's like, I don't know, ever since I can't record like I need to, I really haven't been looking up either. And the crazy thing, I look up there, I see the same stuff. On that red dragon breathing fire on the sun, if you look at that, there's one point. I don't know if y'all have seen the stories on the unidentified flying humanoids, but it kind of looks like what's on the back of that cloud. You can actually see fabric flapping in the wind as it goes by. It's weird looking. I don't see it. It must not have went up. All right, Nurse Care Bear. Oh, you're in Murfreesboro? Okay. Yeah, I ain't that far from you. You're seeing what's going overhead too, because it goes at that angle. It's kind of a northeastern. Yeah. You ever notice the weather patterns? It all situates around the I-40 corridor. It's either north of it or south of it. or ride on it. It's because all them tires they've had up since the 70s. Microwave tire, they call them communication tires, microwave antennas. Things been up since the 70s, still up. But yeah, guys. Oh man, I've been watching everything since I was a kid, man. I know I told the story the last time, I think. But I remember as a kid, it was probably like in 71, because I think I was around 3. That's when I started remembering stuff. But I remember watching TV, and there's these guys in these white suits, and they're hopping up and down, kind of slow motion like. And I asked my mom, "What is this?" And she said, "It's men on the moon." And she took me outside and pointed up the sky at the moon and said, "What you see on TV are those men up there on the moon jumping around." Yeah, that weather is related to that, but it's even more than that. Some of this stuff, because I'm telling you, there's a pattern over here. Every morning, early in the morning at a certain time, you can hear them fly over. It'd be like 6 or 8 of them. And then in the afternoon, it'll be about the same amount going the other way. Then in the middle of the night, there'll be some. And what I noticed though, if it was like FedEx or somebody that's on a set time schedule, it would make sense for that to happen every day at the same time or around the same time, right? But when we have the time change, like fall back an hour or go forward an hour, those airplanes still go over at the same time that the relationship of the sun is setting. Does that make sense? It's like the time didn't affect when they were. I mean, if you think it was FedEx or something, you'd think the time change would keep them coming over at the same time, but it doesn't. It's something to do with the aspect of where the sun is setting and rising or in the position of where it's at. And that's what got me to really starting to pay attention. I was like, man, why? If the time changed, how come the flight pattern didn't change? Stay the same with the time. It just stayed the same with relation to the sun's position. It don't make sense. Oh, I don't know anything, Christopher. I'm still trying to figure this out myself. There's something else I noticed about the cloud, and like in the morning, you see the clouds on the horizon. It'd be a long stretch of them, right? And it's always got, to me, it looks like an alligator. It looks like a mouth open on it. One afternoon, you'll see the same thing. And then the next day, you'll see the same thing. And I'm like, man, what's the odds? And then I see other people's videos, and it's the same thing. Every morning, afternoon, whatever. It looks like to me, the way the cloud lays out, it's got an alligator mouth open. Or dragon, however you want to look at it. But I mean, what's the odds you're always going to have that cloud formation go over like that? They don't want us seeing stuff, so we don't figure it out. So that's the problem. I've kind of understand what I'm seeing. I just don't know how to. Because, see, the way my life has gone is, you know, my experiences and everything, and what I've learned and observed over all these years is how I've come to this conclusion. So if nobody else has been brought up like I was to this point, they might not see it like I see it. I don't know if that made any sense or not. You make sense if you don't think about it. No, I didn't see nothing about no comment. See, that's a. Oh, I don't know where to go. All I know is each and every one of us are all part of something bigger and something smaller. Infinitely both ways, but it's all this. That's what's so weird. It's hard to explain. As far as you can go back in the past to as far as you can go into the future, everything's tied in together. It don't make sense. Oh, you didn't see that video I put up when the sun was doing like a laser show? That's when I caught that daggum, I don't know what that see-through craft. You could see the jet thrust coming out the back of it. I mean, the odds of catching that I was doing a time lapse. You realize what the odds are of catching something like that on a time lapse? It had to be right there at the right moment when that camera took a picture. It's hard to explain anything I'm seeing or y'all see in the pictures. I mean, some of this stuff has no words to describe it. And then the only way you can base what you're seeing off of is what you've been taught. But then what you're saying is telling you what you've been taught is wrong. So how do you objectively understand what you're saying when you're finding out you've been lied to most of your life about what reality is? It don't make sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, they messed with time so much. Time ain't right anymore. Time to me is not staying consistent. The other night, man, I sat there. I got home from work, got the dog out and everything, got back in. I was like, I gotta lay down. Well, I fell asleep. Then I woke up. Then I just couldn't get up. So I went back to sleep. Then I woke up and it was about 9 o'clock. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go on to bed. Man, it felt like I slept all night long. I was so rested. I got up. It was only 11:30. I hadn't even made it to midnight yet. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And that's happened a couple times in the last few days. But not only that, man, the other day when I went to Memphis, it didn't feel like it took 15 minutes to go from Jackson to Memphis. But then again, I think I watched the sky more than I was watching the road. I saw jets doing like, I don't know, it was 3 of them laying down their lines heading east while I'm heading west, and they were stacked like stair stepped. And the one that was the furthest ahead, that sucker made a daggum 45-degree turn to the north. And then I kept watching them. And then the one that was the third back, it got to about the same point in the sky and it made a 45-degree turn to the north. But at one time, I looked ahead and I started counting. There's daggum 12 airplanes going across in front of me. And there was never no less than 5. What's going on, people's last stand? Yeah, I've been alive for a minute, for an hour and 30 minutes to be exact. 90 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. My whole channel has changed. I have no idea how it happened. It just happened. But I'm not deleting anything I put up previously because it's all, it's what it is. You know what I mean? Had somebody tell me I need to write a letter to YouTube and apologize so I can get monetized again. Man, screw YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and jump through hoops and stuff. I mean, what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, I don't think I'm going against any narrative. I'm just watching the world get terraformed. And it ain't by man. I mean, some of it is, but the majority of the stuff we're seeing up there is not man-made stuff that's doing it. It's not even alien. It's the devil realm, whatever you want to call it. It's that spiritual realm where good and evil. It's all about good and evil. Yin yang. It's all about opposites. Left and right, up and down. It's weird. I don't even think I notified anybody on this. I haven't been able to get on Twitter or anything until today. So I started posting, my old videos I've already had up for a while because usually but that's what I'm saying. They're trying to stop me in every aspect that they can. I mean, they stopped. Somehow or another, they deactivated my SIM card in my phone, which made me lose my hotspot. So I couldn't get to Twitter or anything like that to, put out notices. Excuse me. And then they sent me a new SIM card through the mail. And I went through, talking to them on the phone, put it in there. And man, it made my phone even worse. So then I had to put the original SIM card back in there. It's crazy. And I don't know. What's up? I don't know what to think anymore. All I know is I've seen some crazy stuff up there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put out a video on the snake in the sky thing, or the serpent in the sky thing. Go ahead and put all the footage I got of it up in one video. I hope everybody's all right with my audio. I don't know why that's such a big problem for everybody. I really don't. Man, this daggone vape choked me up. What? I gave her a treat and she don't want me near it. All I did is turn around and look at her. She's so crazy. And that dog can see stuff. It's the only dog I know I can tell her to look and she'll look up. She sees stuff in the sky. She'll start barking at stuff that I can't see. But yeah, don't think that stuff is only in the sky either. That stuff's down here on ground level with us. I promise you. I just, I've seen it. I just haven't been able to. It's hard to explain. You don't really realize. You don't never know when you're going to experience it on ground level. All right. And it'll be something. That's something else. I've never seen so many orbs in my life. I mean, all different sizes. And I'm beginning to think what I called eclipse in the sun might not have been a planet. Might have been one of these big orbs. Because what these people are doing, they got several different layers of atmosphere that the wind's going certain ways and doing, certain temperatures and this, that, and other. So they're able to manipulate each layer to where they can obfuscate your vision. Yeah, man, that's the whole thing. In the reality of it all, time doesn't matter. It only matters here. But I guess that's what I don't get. Like, if you read the Bible, there is no beginning, there is no end. So that means time, I mean, there's no time wherever that is, right? But yet, in that realm of no beginning and no end, there are set times for us here. You can tell the seasons. You can tell, it's foretold. Revelations is about at this time you'll see this, and at that time you'll see that. But yet, time doesn't matter, but yet it does. So that's what I'm saying. Yin yang, right, wrong, left, right. Matters don't matter. I mean, you got to have both for existence or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. You got to have bad to know good, or do you need to know good to know bad? I mean, I don't know. Hot and cold, wet and dry. It's all about the yin and the yang. Somehow, it's reflections. It's all about reflections. Reflections could go on indefinitely if you set stuff up right. That's what I'm saying. My mind gets to think about it. Illusions. Smoke and mirrors. I don't know, yo. All I know is I think I'm going to eat something tonight. I forgot to eat the last 3 days. Maybe that's part of my problem, too. I do a lot of fasting, but I'm not conscious about it. It happens. Maybe that is my problem. I think I need to just sit there and belly up to the table and gain about 100 pounds, and maybe all this will go away. Oh, Lord. I talk about, I go, you watch that video I put out? They'll be like, no, man, your stuff is scaring me. I'm like, scaring you? Yeah, that stuff you put. I go, how's it scaring you? I mean, what is scary about it? I mean, it breaks your understanding of what you believe to be real. I mean, that's the only way it can be scary, is to show you that what you believe to be real isn't. And what you thought was unreal is real. Uh-oh. Hey, Google, I wasn't saying the country. I was saying something that is physically real. Or maybe it's not physically real. But yeah, man, we're in some sort of... It's Matrix-like. But it's not the Matrix like the movie. But it is like that. It's the micro and the macro. People need the biggest to the littlest. But there ain't no ever biggest. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger with no stop. Or it keeps going smaller, smaller, smaller with no end. There's never an end to the bigness and the smallness. That's how you have eternity. There's no beginning and no end. It's all one. I don't know, man. Either that or what I'm seeing up in the sky. We're just a circuit board in a computer, and this stuff we're seeing in the sky is just electrons and stuff making connections to complete the program that this computer is doing. Or we could look at it. Oh, how could we look at that? I'm not going to say that in this video either. We could look at it like I'm going to try to figure out how to say it about getting onto that narrative side. But look at it like this. What if us good humans and people of the world are the antibodies, and the mean evil people and stuff of the world are the virus? You see what I'm saying? Goes on a scale like that. What if what we're doing here on this planet or this earth or in this world, what if we perceive it as this is our life, but in reality, this is going on inside our own bodies, and we are the antibodies fighting against the viruses that are in our... You see what I'm saying? It goes on micro, macro. Too deep for my daggum hillbilly mind. Well, I mean, we exist in eternity. That's the whole thing. Our reality exists in the realm of eternity. God made us, right? God created all we know. But all we know resides in the realm in which God resides. It's like, we're a petri dish on a science lab table. We reside in his reality, not... This is just... I don't know. I picture, these people went to a county fair, and they had this big exhibition tent for the newest VR game out. You can enjoy life from birth to death. Come on, come on, come on. Plug into the VR. And we're all just in a VR game, Who knows? That's crazy. Let's see, what am I going to cook tonight? Cook up some possum and sweet potatoes. I quit listening to possibilities. You know where I need... but he probably wouldn't have me. I need to get old Marfugal. But I need to do it off air and just talk to him and say, hey, dude, look. This is what I'm saying. And you can look at the evidence. And I think we should warn some folks to get their lives together. What's going on? Because I don't know, man. All I know is back in 2003, I actually saw one of them triangle craft over my neighbor's house. I mean, in detail. But it wasn't near as big as the ones I've been catching going over me. What's crazy, those things are everywhere. I've never seen so many triangle craft in my life until here the last few months. They are everywhere. I'm seeing them everywhere with my eyes. If I take a picture of them or video, I can enhance them out, but I can see them with just my eyes. I don't know. I guess I've been watching the skies long enough. When I start seeing stuff doing certain things, I know to start looking. Oh man, why? Why me? But I do. I feel like I need to somehow. I've got to get this out. But I understand how FPV Angel feels because I think he's on to something. And it kind of ties into what I'm seeing and videoing as far as these like orb thing. I don't know how to even explain any of it. That's why I try to do videos and just show it. Because, man, sometimes when I'm doing a video like the Blue Beam video, man, I'm seeing this stuff live as it's happening. And I'm like, man, I might be saying some crazy stuff. But I'm just trying to, I'm just throwing stuff around in my mind and trying to see if anything makes sense, As far as I can tell, I swear, even though it's dimensional, it's some sort of electronics tied in with it. And I think it's got something to do with these tires they're turning on. I think they've got man to build this stuff so to help them manifest. And I've been catching that dragon thing trying to manifest, and then it blows up. They ain't got it quite right. It's like, I don't know, CERN opened up a time warp, and we just keep jumping here and there. I mean, the Mandela effect has gone crazy. I mean, I knew a woman that owned a cigarette store for years, and then the next thing I know, she's only a worker there, and she wasn't married to the guy that I don't know. It's just, that happened to me. I don't know how. And then I told my neighbor about it, and he's like, well, I thought she owned it. I go, I did too. But she's not married to John. I go, nope. He's like, what happened? I go, Mandela effect. That's like a little restaurant in this town. I know 30 years ago when I did some work in this town, it was called Jack in the Box. It was Jack in the Box all day long. Well, people that's lived out here all their lives said it's never been Jack in the Box. It's always been Jack's. Well, it wasn't Jack's 30 years ago when I worked out here. Maybe 25. I can't remember. When would that have been? 94? Well, that'd be around. I can't think right now. Papu? Did I say that right? Oh, I don't know. Super Day, what's going on? Yeah, I can't say, look, Years ago, I got a lethal dose of daggum cadmium, and I'm still here. So I think it was it cadmium or it was some sort of battery they make for pacemaker patients, and it's radioactive and a cobalt, maybe. I can't remember. It was some sort of battery. And my neighbor, I, all right, I put it to you this way. I was trying to make a model rocket plane that would take off I was trying to keep it under a pound to keep it considered a model rocket, but I was going to have it radio controlled where I could fly it back like a space shuttle. And I was trying to find a lightweight battery to run the servos. And I was going through all these different batteries I had, and I was weighing them, trying to find the lightest battery, the voltage I needed for the lightest battery. And I got these plastic pack or battery. It was in a hard plastic case, and I thought, you know what? I bet this is gonna work. And as soon as I cracked that case open, my whole arm, man, the hand I was holding it in, it just started feeling like, I don't know how to explain it. Almost, it wasn't like an electrical shock, but it was like a weird vibration and made my whole arm feel like jello all the way up to my shoulder. And then right after that, my daggum rotator cuff ligament come off. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, was it cobalt or cesium? I can't remember. Some sort of weird battery. And he told me, and then when I opened it and it did that, then it hit me. I was like, oh, shoot. This is the battery he told me. It's got a lethal dose of radiation in it. And I done absorbed all that in my arm. Exactly. Sin is what destroys you, and not thinking the right way, which would make you sinful, probably. If what? Tiamat. I don't know what that is. I don't know, Jenny. I think they turned. I know my phone shows it'll go from LTE to 5G, and then it'll go to LTE to 5G. But I don't know if they turned that 5G on or not the other day up in Jackson, because, man, I had an episode where it felt like I was drowning, man. I couldn't cough enough out of my lungs. I ain't sick. I ain't got the flu or nothing like that. But, man, something stopped me. I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was drowning. I sat there and hacked. It was like dry heaving from your lungs. And it was crazy. Barely catch a breath. It finally stopped. I don't know if they cranked up the 5 or what. What is Thai, mate? Thai, I don't even know how to pronounce that. What is that? Thai, Matt? I don't know what that is, Starlight. I really don't. Unless it's some Indian god, and I've probably got videos of it. Man, some of the stuff I've seen on my videos, it's like a square cube or something, and it's got like lines, faces on all 4 sides or corners, and so what is Thai, mate? Well, I've been catching dragons. No. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, what y'all perceive, what NASA has let everybody perceive to be outer space is not. Outer space is what I'm videoing up in these clouds. That's where it all ends, and then it goes into that realm forever. They try to tell you outer space is adventurous and this, that, and the other. Man, outer space is that stuff up here in the skies that I've been sitting there heading into and finding white rabbits in my picture and here she goes again. Well, I don't know the names of it. That's what I'm saying. I've probably got video of every ancient civilization god there's been, because I've seen the Buddha, I've seen the Mayan ones, I've seen a couple of different Indian ones, and that blue guy, that is an Indian sun god called the blue beetle. I got him holding a cube at the end of his finger. I've got several different pictures of him. He's the one that the blue dragon turned into. That was the blue beetle imitating a blue dragon. Some crazy stuff, I'm telling y'all. Yeah, well, I got a red dragon. I call it a red dragon because to me it had a reddish tinge to it. But I thought it was blowing out blue flames. I think what it was doing, it was manifesting and just burn out. It's like they're using CERN. Somehow or another, CERN, because it deals with magnetics and all that, is somehow kind of semi-transported electronic technology into that realm. Or maybe they've had it before and they're just giving man instructions on how to build this stuff so they can, who knows? Who knows? I mean, the emerald tablets. Crystals will hold memory. When I used to do machine work, or when I was a machinist at a shop, we had this one old machine, and this memory bubble was a silicone bubble. And that's where the memory was stored, in a silicone bubble. So if they can store memory in a silicone bubble, imagine what the crystal skulls have got in them. All the crystal skulls are memory banks, but they don't know how to tap into them. And I think I figured it out. I think electrodes need to be placed on those. You got to get a certain frequency. It's all about frequencies. But if I think you get the right frequency going in one of them crystal skulls, that thing will probably start projecting holograms out. Just saying. Oh, there ain't no Mars. There's a God Mars. I'm telling y'all, when they got daggum DeGrasse, what's his name, as the lead space scientist, and he ain't nothing. And I mean, these people are lying to everybody. Mars and Mercury and Venus, they made up some good stories about the atmospheres and the temperatures, but in reality, they are Greek gods. This man has painted a picture to deceive everyone. Man, we can't even tell if the earth is flat or round. How do you know there's planets? You know what I mean? And look, believe me, I used to be, man, I love Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Buck Rogers, anything space related. Man, I was eating it up. Now I look at that and I'm like, how long have they been lying to us? How long have they been misleading us? I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can from everything I've learned. I'm trying to take everything I learned and just put it on the back burner and just look right now and look at what I'm looking at and try to understand, because I'm seeing this stuff, so I got to understand what I'm seeing. And I don't need any false teachings pointing me the wrong direction. What is it, Ouija? Well, that's what I'm talking about. D-Wave AI. That is the D-Wave quantum computer, AI. AI is the D-Wave. And it's built up in layers of superconducting chips or whatever, microprocessors. See, who the hell, where does the machinery come from that builds this stuff? You see what I'm saying? I asked a while back ago, where do all these drugs come from? How do they get all these chemicals? I mean, where do you get these individual chemicals in metric tons like they've got? That stuff's coming from the other realm. It's got to be. And now my dog wants to chew and bite on me. Yeah, I remember the Land of the Lost. Yeah, those slee stacks. Isn't that how they talk? Yeah, that's why I don't want. My videos are more about the visual. Video means for your eyes. Audio means for your ears. And I'm not making audio clips. I'm making videos. The audio is just a bonus. I ain't got nothing to say about any of it because I don't want to mislead. I mean, I have said something, but that's just my thoughts. I'm just trying to process. I mean, this stuff is unbelievable. But I do like the fact I can tell people what I saw, and then they say I'm crazy. Then I can show them a video of what I saw, and they're like, well, I don't know. Yeah? Well, you don't think I'm crazy now because you saw what I told you I saw? Yeah, that's what I like. I have video backing up what I'm saying. If I tell you a blue dragon turned into a blue man holding a hose, and you think I'm crazy, and then I show you a video that shows you exactly what I said, who's crazy now? I mean, in the red dragon blowing flames on the sun, to the side of that was another little battle going on, and there's orbs and people getting, or whatever it was, entity, or whatever you want to call it. It was like there was something sitting on one of those, what I call dragon ships. and it pointed at this other thing, and it blew apart. The head went up, the arms went out, the legs come off. It was crazy. Oh. Look, guys, I've been on here over 2 hours. I appreciate y'all showing up. Share it out. Try to figure it out. I mean, I don't have anybody to talk to. I need to get somebody that can ask me questions where I can answer, or I can ask, or you know what I'm saying? But me being here by myself, I don't know where to start. I don't have any direction I'm trying to go with anything. I don't know how to. I just got a daggum jigsaw puzzle still in the box. You know what I mean? I got all the pieces. Maybe I don't have all the pieces, but I've got the majority of the pieces to the puzzle. I just need some help putting it together. And I'm finding it would be easier if I could have a conversation with someone, live talking back and forth, like somebody asking me questions and I'll answer them. Or maybe I can ask questions and they'll answer. But if I had some sort of one-on-one reaction with someone, maybe I could get a little further of what I'm trying to say. But as it is right now, I don't know what to say because I don't want to mislead anyone. But if somebody asks me a direct question, so I don't know. But yeah, Mike, Starlight, and Christopher, and People's Last Stand, Jenny, Mike, Mary, I don't know if Mary's still here or not. Starlight, if you're still here, I appreciate y'all coming by in my Russian bot channels. But I'm going to have to get off here. I need to pick something to eat. I ain't ate in days. But until next time, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Man, I don't know what I'm putting out, Jenny. I'm just putting out the facts. I don't know if it's truth. But yeah, let me get off here, y'all. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to try to upload a video of some kind. I don't know if I'll finish the one on how I got to where I am, or if I'll start a new one on the. I think I'll just go ahead and finish out the serpent in the sky one, because that was just a little snippet. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. And until next time, keep your eyes to the sky, I guess. Look up, wake up.